All right, let's do this. Hey, everybody, this is Petra Monica with the Rebels Den, and with me today, I have Toni Riddick, and we've been dealing with some technical challenges for the last 2 weeks, trying to get this interview together. So we're making it work with what we have. So welcome to my interview series.
Hi, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Yates, who I've interviewed previously, was like, hey, would you mind interviewing my cousins, right? Because you have this amazing story and then building your own business at the same time. So let's talk about your story before we talk about your business. Give us a little bit of background.
Right, okay. Well, in March 2018, I found a lump in my left breast, and I somehow knew that it wasn't a cyst. I'd had cysts before, and I don't know, you just know. You just know. I just knew. But I just thought if it's cancer, it's just going to be, a little bit of chemotherapy and maybe my breast off, and, hey, I'll be all right. But it was aggressive cancer. It wasn't hormonal, and it was nasty, and there was no messing about with it. You could see it through my top. It just appeared one day when I was in the shower. Out of nowhere. So I had 5 months of chemotherapy, which just absolutely destroys you. I can't explain to somebody what that's like. It just rips your soul out. It's horrendous, which is why I went onto the business, but I'll get to that. So I had 5 months of chemotherapy, and then I had surgery, and then I had to have radiotherapy every day for a month. And by the end of that, I was absolutely floored.
Yeah.
Absolutely floored. But I took cannabis. My friend's mother had breast cancer, and the minute she found out I was diagnosed, she said to take cannabis all. And I've never been a stranger to cannabis or hemp. Even since I was little, my dad smoked it. It's always been familiar to me. I've always loved the hemp plant, and so I started to take high THC. And in 5 weeks, I couldn't find my lump.
Huh. So I want to put a disclaimer because I don't want to get sued by nobody. We're not doing medical recommendations necessarily. We're not doctors. We're not any professionals. But you have found something that works for you, right?
Yes.
I think it's pretty important that we put disclaimers out and saying, hey, we're not specialists, we're not doctors, so that we're not liable.
No.
Everybody has to make their own choices, consult their doctors, and do all the things for themselves. But this is your story.
Yeah.
You had breast cancer.
Yeah, this is my story.
You went through all this chemo and radiation, and then you found cannabis oil, and here you are today.
Here I am today. Isn't that great?
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Because I've personally been touched by cancer and have lost people through this horrendous disease. I also know people that have survived it and ended up committing suicide related to the cancer because they just couldn't come out of that depression that cancer has a tendency to create, right? I mean, let's be real. There's depression that comes with that. And so you have found cannabis oil to help you. How has it helped you?
How what, sorry?
How has it helped you?
Well, the high THC, if you look into it, like you say, I agree, we're not doctors in this, I'm just thinking about the people that have worked with cannabis, so, it's not for everybody, but I needed to take high THC, which is illegal, so every time I got it, I had to break the law, and every time my friend got it, she had to break the law for me, but, when death's facing you, I would do it all again tomorrow, and I would do it if my daughter was dying, or anybody, do you know what I mean? I would do it. But the other thing, it was used anyway, medicinally, till the prohibition, like 1924, when the pharmaceuticals wanted to, that's a whole different ballgame, but it's always been around, and there is a lot of people use it, but there's a lot of big stigma with it still. So, how I got into selling CBD oil, funnily enough, is I needed a job when I finished work, because I'm a barber by trade. And I'm just too tired to work full time. And my friend has a cleaning company, so she said she wants doing some hours. And it's a standing joke. It's a lady whose house I was cleaning was called Mrs. Dunning, so they called Mrs. Dunny. So when they say, how do you meet? I was cleaning Mrs. Dunny's Dunny. Do you know what I mean? I was cleaning her Dunny, a toilet. So, and she was selling CBD also. I got talking to her, and here I am. And it comes all the way from Kentucky. Josh and Jenna Swable in the States. They're just an amazing couple. They've got great ethics. They look after people much less fortunate. They give it back to the people. And it's about, they understand it's for the people. I'm not working for somebody with big wigs and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I actually love it. Love it.
Yeah, and so
I meet people, Petra,
Yeah, no, I get it. I have friends that that use cannabis oil to help with anxiety, with depression. I mean, so many things in some kind of a way. And so you're starting to build a business.
Well, I just thought that once I realised what cannabis did for me, not just the illegal side of it, the CBD oil, which is legal, it seemed to balance my body again. And the hardest thing after cancer was when somebody says, I'm trying to find the old me. Well, the old me is not there anymore.
Right.
And that was really, really tough, because I've always been a doer. And I'm still a doer. That's why I'm constantly thinking and networking on my phone in my business. But I can't do the things physically that I used to do. So I have to think of another way of helping people. And if I can make money and help people and then give back to people that are less fortunate, then I've done my job here.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. You're taking your personal story to help other people, but because of your supplier, you're also in some way are able to give back in different ways. So it's literally just a continuous circle to promoting goodness.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I can't tell people, I'm not a doctor. They have to decide whether they want to take it. I don't administer it, but if somebody wants to try something, then, power of the plant.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think it shows to your resourcefulness. So, you've had this cancer, you physically are being impacted by it still, but you're still like, it's not going to put me down. It's not going to keep me down.
No.
I'm still going to keep doing in the best way I can. Right?
Yeah.
It just shares your strength and your personality. We're like, okay, I might be able to clean a house anymore as well, but I can help you in another way. And that's just as good, right?
Yeah. And that's what I enjoy doing, I actually probably communicate with people now that I will probably have never crossed paths with. And I'm just in another world, and you've just got to embrace it, and that's what I do every day. Even when I lost my hair, I just shaved it off. I thought, you're not beating me. Hey ho, so I just did it for a while. So what? It'll grow back. And, the people taking the last breath, I've still got a chance.
Yeah.
If I can make their end of life or them comfortable, then I will, and I'll always support the activists because it grows by your side. I mean, there's a saying, I don't know if it's in the States, in the UK, they say when you die, you're buried less than 6 foot away from the danger. It's a saying that we have in the UK. I've sort of stuck with that really.
Yeah, I don't know that the US has anything like that, and I'm trying to think. So I'm from Germany, and I'm like, did we ever have a saying like that? I don't even know. But it's very, very true. There's definitely different people out there, that get the diagnosis, and then they battle it, and they go all warrior mode, and I'm going to conquer this. And then there's the others pending the stage of the disease or whatever, and they're like, I'm not even going to fight. I'm just going to either take my own life, or I'm just going to let it ride its course, right? So there's different paths to take for people. And I've probably come across all of them in some kind of a way where somebody has said, I'm not doing treatment, I'm just going to allow it to take me. And other people that, all right, this is what I got, it's not going to get better, so I'm going to end it today. Which, I think it's such a personal choice. Like, I don't get to judge on that.
Yeah,
I don't get to have an opinion on that. It's an individual choice on how we deal with whatever we're given.
Yeah, absolutely. They say everyone's journey is different.
Truly.
And no matter how much I tell people about my journey, they might take little snippets of it,
Yeah.
But everybody's, I mean, Because the outlines are pretty much the same. My friends have had cancer, and they said to me after 6 months of treatment that you will crash. And I was at 100 miles an hour, just wanted to fundraise, because I didn't want to. I never ever Googled my even diagnosis was.
Yeah.
I couldn't even. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to know. I just thought, as long as I feel all right and I can carry on, I'm okay. So I never actually Googled any of my diagnosis or anything like that. So I just think, you've got to be positive, Petra, you know?
Yeah.
There's always somebody who isn't there.
I feel that. I think your mindset and your thoughts, your process, all of that helps you, in addition to what you're doing for yourself, whether it be through the cannabis oil or something completely different. It's all about how your head's coming about, right?
Yeah. And I just think for me, with the oil, well, it heals you anyway, but it makes you eat and it makes you sleep. And they're the two main things you need to do while you're having chemo, because everything just tastes awful.
Yeah.
You know, so there was that side of it. But like I say, I just obviously the conventionals, the oncologists didn't like it. They didn't like me taking it. But I never hid it from the doctors. It's on my records, and I just said I wouldn't do it again, because he said, we don't know what it's doing to you. And I said, well, you don't know what that bright red stuff's there. You're pumping into my body for 5 months, it's doing to me either. So I'd rather have the side effects from a plant than God knows what's in that toxic, you know. So you just gotta, it's all about balance, isn't it? You know, I still do it now. I wouldn't just give it to somebody unless they researched it. I don't just, dish it out on the street. It's got to be.
Yeah.
But, there's certain medications you can't take with CBD, even like blood thinners. So anyone on warfarin, I cannot sell CBD to. So it's not just a case of let's take it and keep taking it. You need to know what you're doing. It's a powerful plant.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you brought that up, because I think that knowledge is really, really helpful. So my son had a liver transplant some time ago. And so there's certain foods he can't have, and there's certain medications he can't have because of how they're processed through the body, right?
Yeah.
And I'm educated about that because I am sort of in charge of his whole thing right now. And it's like, oh, grapefruit is good for you. I'm like, no, grapefruit is bad for him because it will counteract his medications.
I got my medication.
So having that knowledge and awareness and knowing how everything interacts or whether you can take it is a really important point, I think, that you brought up, because I
absolutely,
if you're on a medication and smoke marijuana, take CBD or whatever it is that you do, you're going to end up doing more damage than you will do yourself some good. So that knowledge is absolutely key. And I love that you're like, I won't sell it to you if you're on this medication.
No, I don't. I won't do anything like that. I've got to know this. I have to get to know people. Unless people just buy it and they go to my website and they're already familiar with it and they know what they're buying and what strength they're buying. But if anyone just suddenly comes up to me new, it's I want to tell them to go buy something on my website. They need to understand what this is going to do. And I think sometimes people think they're going to be backflipping when they've had it. It's not like that. Yeah. It heals you from the inside out. All I find is that I take no more antidepressants. And I was on them, and I couldn't eat grapefruit for years because I was on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And because it mixed with my sertraline tablets. But since I've had CBD, I'm off all medication. So for me, there's no toxic. I eat healthily. I'm not vegan. Nor am I vegetarian. But I pick good cuts of meat when I eat, and I try and eat organic. If I can't eat organic, then there's always ways, to get pesticides out of your food by bicarbonate of soda and soaking them. All things like that, and that's what I put on my page. I don't put on to buy this. I talk people through diets, smoothies, juices, everything that's got me well.
So I feel like there's a whole,
it's like a lifestyle.
It's a whole health thing. There's a whole health thing that happens when people reach out to you. And the process is probably then to talk to you first before buying anything, right? And it's like, hey, let's have a conversation so that to see if this is even going to work for you. And if I'm the best fit or what I'm doing will help you. So know that if anybody's interested and wants to reach out to Toni, reach out to her and have these conversations before you decide to buy anything.
Well, there is that. The other thing, that was the other reason that some people said to me, why did you choose the company you did, Hempworks? And I said, I have to like the people and the ethics behind the product. I can't just buy a product.
Yeah.
I won't give money to some big wig just because I like something that they're selling. If If I don't like them, I'm not buying it. And it's the same, you know, with this. So the fact it's organic, it's in Kentucky, and the CEOs and the founders are just like us, and they want people to do well and help others, which is why I got it. And there's no fillers or plastics in it, which is a lot on the high street. You have to be really careful what you're taking.
Yeah, so it's pretty important. And then the other thought is, too, that, yes, you're here to help them if they're interested and help them figure it out, but there's still the thought, hey, you probably should talk to your doctor, too, because I would never have my son take a supplement without consulting them.
No.
Just to kind of get their feedback, right? To kind of, I mean, I'm still going to do my own research, obviously, but I think it's important that your medical team is aware of some of the things, whether they're a fan or not is not even the issue here, but it is about your health. And I know some doctors are like, yes, it's fine, and some doctors are like, no, don't do that.
Well, it's just about, it's a big thing. The pharmaceuticals at the minute, there's just a big thing in the UK where the activists, you know, they're against the pharmaceuticals because, I don't know, I think I'm probably going to go down the holistic route now for the rest of my life, because when I was in hospital, they told me that they had a tablet for everything.
Yeah.
Even every side effect of every other tablet. And I just thought, why would I want to be pumped full of that? Because I feel sick, you give me a tablet. Because I've got a headache, you give me a tablet. I've got a bad stomach, you give me a tablet. And I'm just letting it rotting. What hope have people got in that situation? So there is definitely sometimes you cannot, you know, when I went in for my operation, you can't say what they're going to pump you with. You've got to have conventional medicines. I understand that. You know, I'm not saying it's wrong. I just think sometimes there's an alternative. And me, personally, it's only me. I just think a build-up of tablets over the years can't be any good for your liver.
Yeah, no, I like they brought up the holistic aspect, because, you know, there's, in the case of my son, there's definitely medications he can't be without. There's no holistic alternative for him, right? He has to have the medication that he's given by the doctors. However, there are some holistic things that I can do for him, you know, cooking well, like having the healthier recipes and staying away from the junk food kind of a situation. You know, maybe some vitamin, like he's taking vitamin D and vitamin E supplements. They're holistic-ish. You know, but how else can I give that to him? And it's through the food, right? I mean, to me, it goes all back to the food. And I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian.
I know.
I don't judge anybody that is. I don't really, like, I have many friends who are on all of the different paths. Because, again, it goes back to your personal preference and choice. It always goes back to that. You are in control of your body. You decide what you put in it.
Yeah. Which is true. But like you say, you do need some conventional medicine sometimes, you know?
Yes.
Sometimes it's out of our hands. But I just think the more you research it, you know, it won't harm you if it's growing, it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of plant-based in conventional medicine, but getting back to the business, it's not just CBD oils that I do. I mean, I sell sprays to help you sleep, and there's no CBD, and they're all natural, like deer antler velvet and things like that are really good for your immune system, help you sleep, or just want to lose weight, and all them sorts of things. It's just a healthy lifestyle, really.
There you go.
You know, you don't have to
the core. It's creating a healthier lifestyle. And the best way to get started is to talk with you first.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. Contact me. On my Facebook page, Hempworks for Change, or hempworks.com/for-change. From a website, feel free to bring me. Get in touch.
So they can reach out to you. You guys can have a conversation, and you'll figure out together what the best way to go about creating a healthier lifestyle for oneself.
There's so much more to this. I mean, once you look at it, you know.
Yeah.
There's they do a travel side and everything. It's huge. You don't have to be involved in nutrition or CBD to join the team, which is something else I'm reaching out to the States so I can build my team. And because in the States you've got access to all products, much more than we have here.
Yeah.
Which would be great. So
I know Europe is a lot more stricter than the United States. I know this has effect. Growing up in Germany, I mean, our rules are quite different about.
Oh, we're not in. We haven't got to Germany yet. We're not allowed there yet.
No, I know. Well, the rules are just a lot more strict over there. Everything is way more regulated. And I know that. I used to have a bath and body business a long time ago. And there's no way I could have done that in Germany because of the specific rules that country has versus here.
Yeah.
It's just everything is way more regulated over there.
I know.
You know, and I feel like
cool.
most of Europe is like that. There's more regulation about things. To where the U.S. has a little bit more freedom about it, which may be good or bad. No thought. Yeah. It just depends, I suppose. Well, Toni.
Yeah, I know.
It's been an interesting 2 weeks to try to get together with you.
I'll send you a bottle just to calm me down.
I appreciate you sharing your story with everybody. Cancer is not easy to maneuver by any means. It's a very hard, not just physically, but emotionally to cope with. And I love that you figured out a way to help yourself and then decide, well, I'm going to help other people because it's helped me.
Yeah. That's what my passion's about, is helping other people. Obviously, I need to earn money, but I've not had any money for 2 years. That's just a bonus.
Yeah. And so one more time, if people want to connect with you, where can they go to do that?
To go to headworks.com /4change in my website. I can send you a link to put on.
I will. It's totally going to go on the blog. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for being patient with me. Finally getting to hear your voice. Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.